the SEAB board.
Thank you.
So I just wanted to come up and say that this is mostly going to be about the community members at large that sign up to do committees and then they don't show up. So a lot of people signed up for this committee, and then, you know, the first meeting we had everybody, and then progressively we are down to like about 6 actual members outside of the school members that are on that. And I just think it's not fair to other people who did sign up that really did want to join that board and they weren't given the opportunity because these people committed and signed up to this board. And we made sure, you know, I know Scott Hummel did a good job of reiterating before people accepted the committee role that they were expected to be at every single board meeting that we had, which is only once a month. It's not really that much to ask of people, but, you know, I'm sad that the community signed up and wasted all those slots where other people who did want to come and join that were not able to because of that. And then I just wanted to say on the 3rd grade reading law, I understand the testing of it may not be exactly what the teachers think are accurate. However, the whole idea behind passing kids from 3rd grade to 4th grade who cannot read, that is it's devastating to the kids. I don't see that we're doing them any favors. By 3rd grade, the end of 3rd grade, you really should know how to read. And if we do not know how to read, then we really need to look at what's going on in the classroom. Because, and I can agree, because some people have told me the testing may not be what it's supposed to be. But to say that these kids should be passed on to another grade, let another teacher deal with it, and just keep conflating the issues. I don't think we're doing our children any justice here. And I mean, my kid is in 2nd grade, and he was a preschooler for COVID, so he got 3 months of GSRP. Then he went to kindergarten, all on Zoom, went to every other week, maybe 2-3 times for 1st grade. No, I pulled him out. In 1st and 2nd grade, he's been in private school. The kid is reading at a 6th grade 1st semester level. I just went to his conferences last week. I mean, we should expect our schools to hold the same standard. So just wanted to say that.
Thank you.
Next, Crystal Paulson from Dearborn would like to come to speak to the board about the bond.
I do have a statement about the 3rd grade reading issue. When I took my son out of Dearborn and I put him into another school, my son could not read, he couldn't write, he had to start over again. He is now in 4th grade, reading, writing, and learning cursive. So my 17-year-old, he doesn't even know how to sign his name. So if that's anything to take from this, it's important, especially when I have to teach my son how to sign his name. So I do have a question for over the bond. How did we over collect $7.4 million? Is that $7.4 million just like sitting there? Because if we have $7.4 million, I know of many schools that it can go towards fixing Etzel, fixing Forston, all the other schools. But Forston and Etzel, the shape that those buildings are in, that's where that $7.4 million could go to. I mean, my son comes home with a headache every single day. It's a toxic environment. So, and what is the situation on the bathrooms? Are we going to be making 3rd bathrooms improvements? Because parents have a right to know. But that's it.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Next, Zaha Jamil from Dearborn would like to come to speak to the board about the condition at Lowry.
Good evening. My name is Zahra Jamil, and I'm a 7th grade student at Laurie Middle School. I have concerns about my learning environment at Laurie. The temperature of the building is always too hot or too cold. I see mice and insects on a daily basis. Last week, we had a ceiling leak during class time. The bathrooms are non-functional. We have broken sinks and toilets. Going to lunch would be a time for me to relax and take a break from learning, but that's not possible at Laurie. I feel like the air quality in the basement and the roofs make me feel sick and lose my appetite. The bathrooms in the cafeteria are literally falling apart, and it's absolutely disgusting. 2 out of 3 of the sinks barely work. This should be the last thing we have to worry about when we're in school. Things like this have been happening throughout my 7 years at Laurie. I travel to other schools, and I can't help but feel jealousy and wonder why our school doesn't look as good as theirs. My peers and I deserve a better learning environment. Next year will be my last year at Laurie, and I hate to see other students have to go through this. I can go on and on about the condition of Laurie. Of the school. You keep fixing little things, but you aren't looking at the bigger picture. Our school can't be fixed. We need a whole new building. We have a school that is not a safe and healthy learning environment.
Thank you.
Next. Khalid Bazzi would like to come to speak to the board about the condition at Lowry.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Khalid Bezi, and I am one of many concerned parents at Laurie Middle School. We have major concerns regarding almost every facet of our building. Students are learning, and staff is working in what most believe to be an unsafe and unhealthy environment. We don't have building-wide cooling and heating system. Our boiler is constantly breaking down. We have had compressors break down twice since January, leaving our building much below comfortable temperatures and other parts of the building over 90 degrees. We have had confirmation from engineers that parts cannot even be purchased for the boiler we have in our building. We have such a big rodent and insect problem that our kids have gotten used to it as if it's part of their daily routine. We have water quality issues, orange and brown colored water coming out of our toilets and sinks. We have some bathrooms that are literally falling apart. We have air quality issues, heating ducts and vents are filthy. We have leaks throughout the building, ceilings, and leaks on the roof, even though our roof is only 7 years old. The district cannot keep putting Band-Aids on this massive problem. We would like a more comprehensive and transparent plan put forward by the district to address this major health and safety concerns about our learning environment at our school. This might be just another parent preaching to the choir, but on behalf of the Laurie community, we just want to know what is the plan. I hope you take this time to look at our petition with over 700 signatures and counting, as well as a few pictures to point out the points I have addressed tonight. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, Mohammed Aduas would like to come to speak to the board about the school from Dearborn.
Good evening, members of the board. My name is Muhammad Adais, and I am a sixth grader at Laurie Middle School. I've been going to Laurie since kindergarten, and I'm grateful for the teachers there who have taught me to be a great student. Our school has a lot of problems and is in great need. During the winter, the heat never works, and during summer, it is so hot that even with the windows open, it wasn't enough to help with the heat, which makes it hard to concentrate. So it would be better for the staff and students to have an AC and a working heating system. Our school is unsafe. The ceilings at Laurie have been leaking and collapsing on every single floor, including the cafeteria where we eat every day. It's unsanitary, and there have been mice and bugs entering our school for years. The bathroom stalls have doors that do not shut because the locks do not work right. It makes it uncomfortable for anyone to use the bathroom. Also, the water in the sinks are brown and not clean. We need these problems to be solved for the safety of all of the Laurie Polar Bear students and staff. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Next, Saleh Madani would like to come to speak to the board about the school.
Good evening to the members of the board. My name is Salih Madani. I am a 7th grader and I go to Laurie Middle School and I have been going there since kindergarten. I am thankful for my teachers and staff that raised me in the school, but there's a problem. Our school needs repairing. The most important things that we need, which they all are, is the AC and heating system. In the winter, we have to wear jackets in the classroom because it's freezing because we don't have a heating system. And in the summer, it's burning in the classroom. Even if we open windows, it helps a little bit. And some schools are getting AC installed, and Lori isn't. Also, our school is unclean, and there has been many, and when I mean many, I mean a lot. Multiple times, I have seen rats run through rooms, and in the bathrooms, we need stalls. The doors don't close. Some of the sinks don't work. Brown water comes out. The pipes are dirty, and some of the boards on the ceilings are missing, and we have no paper towels, and don't have mirrors in one of the bathrooms. In the cafeteria, the boys' bathrooms is falling apart and is literally disgusting. We need these problems fixed for our safety to Lori, students, and staff at Lori Middle School. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much.
Next, Ahud Al-Sadi would like to come to speak to the board about the school. Next, Dr. Adib would like to come to speak to the board about resource allocations from Dearborn.
Good evening, board members and Dr. Maleko. Before I speak about my issue, I just came back from Edsel Ford Open Parent-Teacher Conferences, and I had to go to 9 teachers to see for my kids and talk to them. I was glad that I didn't have to wait for a second for any of the teacher, except one for like maybe 20 seconds as the first parent transition. The cafeteria was mostly empty, which is sad where our parents' engagements in these important conversations are. So I hope that you take a look at how can we get parents more engaged in parent-teacher conferences after, even compared to prior COVID, it was late traffic. But I'm here to talk more also about the way that the district went out and allocated $100 million in resources for air conditions. I've been engaged in emails back and forth to get a basic understanding of what factors and criteria that the district took to make those allocations. I thought cost would be the main factor, but to learn just through the emails that you all see in, cost was not really a factor. Because when we ask about the cost for this couple of the schools that were left out, they were not, the only cost that I've been giving is a rough estimate based on a industry average cost per square foot, which told me that there was not thorough evaluation of each school, what it cost before we went on and selected some schools. So Lori, as a school that was just be mentioned here, was not selected for any of these. Salina was checked fully air conditioned, was in fact, it wasn't. So the question to you, I just want to need basic information. What were the factors? The second question is, what are you going to do about just giving all elementary schools air conditions? We're talking about quality, not even equity, because if you talk about equity, Salina should be on the top list of getting air conditions based on where it's located. You know where it's located. Dr. Maleko knows where it's located. His career was launched from there. He knows the community, he knows the neighborhood. Why is left out and checked marked as it was fully air conditioned? I don't know, but we're here to find out. We need real answers. What are you gonna do at least to get elementary schools throughout the district fully air conditions? You have the resources. A budget was presented with $40 million in reserve. Get that money and spend wisely in other places and spend money to improve.
Thank you.
Next, Nafaila Hyder would like to come to speak to the board.
Good evening, board members. It's Nafaila Haidar. Almost 30 years ago, I went to Lori School, and it's really, really pathetic that nothing has changed. I saw the asbestos coming out of the ceilings. I saw the mold. I saw the brown water. I smelled that basement. It smells the same. For approximately 10 years now, I've been attending meetings. I've been serving on committees. I've been watching money being requested from the community and money being spent on many schools. Sometimes I'm labeled a stakeholder, and I'm being thanked for being a partner in learning and for my service. And other times, I'm labeled an annoying, disgruntled parent that asks difficult questions. I prefer the latter. I don't do well with sugarcoating. More recently, I've seen an awakening in Dearborn. People are paying attention. They're asking really good questions. They're advocating for students, teachers, and other parents. The most important questions I'm hearing are about money. What is our money being spent on? How can we trust that it's being spent appropriately when we're not getting real answers for what things actually cost? In some schools, you can visibly see money being spent. And in other schools, you're clearly seeing money not being spent and hasn't been spent in a very long time. Teachers and building administrators can't always speak up about the deplorable work conditions that they spend the majority of their day in. When asked why, it's usually because they're afraid to be noticed for the wrong things and they lose an opportunity at a promotion. We all know those that speak up in Dearborn become a moving target. Students speak up in other ways. They get sick, they cough, they have asthma, they pick lead from the walls, they breathe in mold, asbestos, they're exposed to brown water and other dangerous toxins. This board and administration have been called a lot of things, including unjust, lacking equity, racist, political, and many other things. I don't know if you're all of these things, but I know that you lack care, compassion, and responsibility towards some of the students, and I've seen you favor students more than others in this district. In simple terms, if it quacks like a duck and it walks like a duck, it's probably a duck. Lori has been in dire need of repair and rebuilding. Yeah, I know there's a lot of sentimental people there that are against the rebuilding, but as a parent, would you rather have your students in a healthy, clean learning environment with clean air? Or would you rather leave a building that serves as a photo opportunity for alumni? I am a Lori alumni, and I say raise the building. Build what our students deserve. Listen to the people you claim to represent, and act like the accreditation presentation just described you. Our children can't read because
Thank you very much for your comments.
learning environment.
Next, Kathy Martin would like to come to speak to the board.
Your
about-
time's up. Your time's up, Ms. Hyder.
Next, Kathy Martin would like to come to speak to the board about events.
Good evening. I'm Kathy Martin, DFT President. I'm a product of Fortson High School and now a 20-year veteran of Dearborn Schools. The first 20 years of my career were dedicated to students as a speech-language pathologist, while the next 2 years will be dedicated to students in a different way. I'm devoted to helping students by working on solutions to the educator exodus and turnover. Stability is essential for a good education, and the current climate is having a dramatic negative impact on this. To honor the educators who continue to devote their lives to our students, I'd like to start by highlighting some of the wonderful events that have been put on the last few months. In December, the Dearborn Federation of Teachers partnered with U of M Dearborn School of Education to put on a teacher-led professional development day. DFT members presented hour-long sessions in their areas of expertise to Dearborn teachers and U of MD College of Ed students on a Saturday. Although teachers gave up their own time planning and facilitating the conference, we hope to partner with the district and embed this into our regularly scheduled professional development in the future. This was a way for the union to reach out and create a connection with soon-to-be educators in the hopes of recruiting the next generation of teachers for Dearborn Public Schools. I was also honored to be asked by the art teachers to say a few words at the art show last week, and I couldn't be more proud of them and their students. A person could be born with unlimited talent and potential, but without mentorship and guidance, these students may never know just how amazing they are. Last week, our art teachers highlighted how they can work magic with students from grades kindergarten up through 12, and with a very diverse set of skills and interests. In the next couple of weeks, I'll be attending theatrical productions at Bryant and Dearborn High, and also an orchestra performance. All of these events are put on by teachers who extend their work days and to nights and weekends for weeks on end, and only to support our students, and also to shine a positive light on Dearborn schools. I officially took office in January and have been visiting schools to chat with as many educators as possible in order to keep my finger on the pulse of the heart of our district. Members have been eager to share their thoughts and ideas, and I look forward to presenting them to Dr. Maleko and his executive cabinet as we work to solve the prevalent issues in the district. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, Joe Winkle would like to come to speak to the board about safety and protocols.
Good evening. My name is Joe Winkle. Thank you for the opportunity to speak tonight. I'm a fifth grade teacher at Miller Elementary. I've come tonight to share my concerns regarding safety in our schools. At Miller, we have been hard at work implementing ALICE protocols for our lockdowns. Staff and students have had announced and unannounced drills, resulting in students successfully barricading doors, countering intruders, and evacuating the building. All of this happened because we worked together and listened to each other. Our leadership at Miller made their expectations clear. I was shocked and infuriated to learn that not all of our district is doing this. There are schools still using the outdated method of locking the door and hiding in a corner of the room. How is this acceptable? If this were a math or reading curriculum, would we still be waiting for updates? According to an article from the New York Times, as of mid-February this year, there were 80 mass shootings in the United States, one of those occurring not too far from us in Lansing. I leave you with these questions. What is the plan for getting the district on the same plan of keeping the students safe? Is there a timeline? When will the standard be for us to utilize the most effective lockdown methods? When will the plan be to ensure door locks work, that cameras work? I appreciate, and truly I do, for the transparency of your comments earlier of working with Michigan legislatures to keep our communities safe, but these questions require action as well. We cannot just hope the problem goes away or that the dust settles. Your leadership is necessary if we want to be prepared for such a tragedy. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I have some cards for those that did not want to speak.
Okay.
Aman Sadi, a parent, would like to make the following comment. Air conditioning at Salina. I do not live in the area, but drive my kids to school because of the staff passion and dedication. Our kids deserve better in air conditioning and better environment for our staff and students. Next, Hadi Abadi from Dearborn wants us to know that his comments are Lowry needs to be rebuilt and add AC. Shorak Jamil, as a former student, I am very disappointed that the conditions in Lowry have only gotten worse since my time many years ago. This one needs to get translated. I'm going to hold. Fahed Madani, it's really hard to learn when it's hot. We need AC. I am Ibtisam Mohammed. Ibtisam Mohammed. I am very concerned about the air quality that our children are learning and when they go to school. Amal Qaid, Lowry school conditions are very concerning. We have the best staff and students and they deserve better. Please make an effort to create a reasonable environment for our students and staff, proper AC and heating, bathrooms, cafeteria, etc. Awad Sadi, parent, our students deserve the best possible education and when they are too hot or too cold, their ability to concentrate becomes easily distracted. And then we have one more.
Before we get to that, I want to make sure, the young man, Fahad, did you want to speak to us?
He said
Oh,
he's
okay,
good.
because he started approaching the
Yeah, I
podium
saw.
and walked away. I just want to make sure. Thank you, sorry about that.
Yeah, if you want to translate that one for us, thanks.
This is from Mali Al-Hijaz from Dearborn. She's talking about fixing cameras, bathrooms, lockers, and girls' showers. She did not mention what school, though.
That's fine.
Lori.
Lori?
Lori School.
All right. Before any of the students leave, I want to thank you for taking the time to come here and speak with us.